I'm Pern.
And I'm Dave.
Welcome to the show, where we talk about everything from movies, music, sports, and TV.
And stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And this is how we all stay friends.
Okay, let's talk. So I was driving home from work this past week, and I stopped at the Sheets, where I always stop and get gas and all that stuff. And I usually go in and try to find a tasty beverage to go with my Big Kahuna burger.
Of course.
So I go in and I found, hold on, I'm going to reveal it.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, there's props. Okay, we should be on, what the hell? It is
spiced
Coca-Cola.
It is spiced Coca-Cola. It's
what
a new
that
flavor.
Mean? What is that? What's spiced with what? Pepper? Is it peppery?
No, I'm not going to tell you. So we're going to do a taste test on
Jesus,
this.
God, oh no.
And Dave doesn't like spicy stuff. I've actually already tried it, and I actually did a taste test with my kids last Friday at dinner.
Okay.
So, and it was funny because even Jilly asked when I went upstairs to kiss her goodnight, she goes, "Did you and Dave do the taste test yet? Did you do it?" She's all excited. She's excited for you to do the taste test.
Oh, okay. She wants me to catch on fire. Okay,
She's all excited for you to do the taste test. So trust me, it's not spicy. Like there's no chocolate plague hot sauce poured in this. It's not like that.
Right.
But when I tried it, I had a very distinct throwback memory from the smell and the taste of it.
Okay.
So
well,
I want to see what your
we'll give it the full, review of smell and flavor.
So I want to see what you think of it.
Okay.
So here we're gonna open the bottle.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. I'm ready to go.
Let's see if we can get the sound of the open the bottle ready.
Is it gonna?
Oh, there was. Yeah, that was. I got the good. That was good.
Now, are we going to get
I got
told we can't have Coke sound effects on our podcast?
So, hold on, I'm pouring some out.
Oh, okay, cool, good. It's tough because spicy is tough because Chase, of course, loves spicy. So it's always hard to kind of balance that out, and he just has a constant supply of hot sauce around.
Oh wow, okay. Oh,
there we go. Sorry, I'm knocking everything around.
Okay. Sorry, we're not used to having props, and stuff. So
okay, I see what you mean by spicy.
First smell. Yeah. What does it smell like to you?
So the weirdest thing is Lisa. Okay, this is funny because Lisa has what she calls her taste of fall beverage, and it has a bit of it's an alcoholic, spicy kind of spiced flavoring to it,
but not pumpkin spice.
No, not pumpkin spice. It's more of I can't even explain it because I don't drink alcohol and I don't remember the name of the damn thing.
Okay, that's great.
It's like a
moving along.
Yeah.
So will you stop hitting
I'm
your
sorry.
mic?
Well, you handed me stuff. I got stuff in my hands
now. I don't know how I'm going to edit that stuff out.
All the noises, they're not going to know what the hell we're talking
about.
Clank,
clonk, clank. Again, not used to having props.
Yeah, okay. So now, are we tasting?
So
you're going to taste it now? Okay, we're going to taste. We're going to taste.
And then tell me what you think. If there's anything distinctively that pops out at you that goes, oh, what? Oh, you don't like it?
Oh, no, it tastes like perfume.
Oh, let me try mine. Nope, mine still tastes the same as what I thought it tasted like.
Really?
So my thoughts and I told, my wife and my kids at dinner, and my wife remembered this. It tastes like Fruit Stripes gum.
Okay.
Do you remember Fruit Stripes gum with the zebra on it?
I do remember
the different colors on the gum.
Yes, I do.
It tastes like Fruit Stripes gum, and that's the smell and the flavor of it that hits me. It doesn't seem spicy at all.
Right.
There's no spice
I wouldn't go that way with spice. It definitely is a unique flavor to it.
Yes. But that's what it reminded me of was
spiced. Why call it spiced though?
Spiced, right? Like it reminds me of Fruit Stripes gum from years ago.
I know. I smell Yankee Candle.
Smells some Yankee Candle. I don't know about that.
But 500 flavors of Yankee Candle.
On the side of the bottle, it says that it's raspberry spiced Coke plus other natural flavors. And of course, we all know other natural flavors means bugs.
Right. So, yes. Complete bugs.
So raspberry flavors and bugs.
Okay. Well, here.
Can you taste that now?
Yeah, I can kind of taste the raspberry part. Yeah, I'm done with that. Yes.
Oh, you don't want any more?
God, no.
Oh. So my wife tries it and she goes, "You're not going to buy this all the time, are you?" I said, "Oh God, no.
Oh
no. I said, we're just going to do this for the taste of it." Because Coke every year comes out with a limited flavor where they did it like last year, it was like the Cosmic Stardust or something like that.
Yes,
which
yes.
tasted
Yes,
not
it tasted
too different than this.
like a galaxy.
Or, yeah. And it was, so every year they come out with this limited flavor.
Well, see, the weirdest thing is that when you're at Epcot, you can you can have the different flavors of all the different Cokes across the world. And there were some there were some weird ones, but it was in the cool zone or whatever it was called.
Oh, I don't think I went in there.
Really?
I missed out on that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next trip.
Yeah. And you get like this little itty bitty cup.
And our weekly Disney plug.
Exactly.
Disney World.
Yeah. And they had different flavors, and you could try all the weird ones from Italy and Mexico and France. And they did different flavorings.
I think the only difference with the Mexico one is it's made with pure cane sugar and not
but that was
Coke, corn sugar.
Right? But they had different flavored ones. There was like an orangey one. There was a Japanese one, which I think was a tamarind kind of flavor. Maybe that was the African one. And then there was one that was like Beverly, which is like, so that one I would classify as spicy because it actually had a taste of some type of peppery spice with it. So
the
it just
happiest spice in the entire world.
Definitely felt like you were getting something in that was spicy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And it catches you off guard because it's very strong.
Well, next time we go to Disney, which probably won't be for another 10 years, I'll try to remember to.
Right, exactly.
Well, but before I go, you'll like, Bern, remember to go taste Cokes of the world.
Right. But at the Coke store, at the Discover Island.
Discovery Island?
Yeah, they have
Islands of Adventure?
Yeah,
or is that
whatever
different?
it is. That's a whole different one.
That's a whole different
That's Universal.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oops. Sorry. And our weekly plug for Universal Studios.
Universal Studios. We're in them all. No,
while in
there's
Orlando,
there's a giant Coke store, and you can buy the different flavors
of
where they are. So that's kind of
I gotcha.
Right.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of things that taste and tasting stuff, so it's February, and Girl Scout cookies have been out for a couple weeks now.
Right, with Lent. Yeah.
Right. Of course, they always do this, and of course, it's right after everybody's broken their New Year's Eve,
of course,
resolutions to
3
eat
boxes
better.
in,
yes. Yeah, exactly. So Keebler makes a version of the Samoas and a version of the Thin Mints.
Really?
And the Thin Mint, the Keebler version is called Grasshoppers, and the Samoas are called Coconut Dreams. And you can buy them year round. They're not like on the shelves at the same time that the Girl Scout cookies are out.
They just didn't try to steal any kind of
not trying to steal it.
Yes.
They're out year round. So my wife and I, we love the Samoa's Girl Scout cookies. So a couple years back when we started seeing these regularly, like, the Coconut Dreams are in the stores, like, we'll get those and just have them, throughout the year. We don't have to wait till February for Girl Scout cookies to come out.
Wait, yeah.
So we did a taste test a couple years back because we wanted to see like how close the taste was from the Keebler version to the Girl Scout cookie version.
Did you do a side by side?
We did a side by side blind taste test. I told her to close her eyes. I pulled them out of the bag.
Right.
I handed one to her and said, "Try that," and then handed her the next one and try that.
But by feel, could she have noticed, or was it?
No, you can't.
So
That's
you wouldn't
just
even.
it.
Oh, okay.
I literally think they're just made in the same factory.
Oh, they could be.
The only difference I could find is the Keebler ones were more fresh.
Oh, really?
Like they hadn't gone stale. Like they haven't been sitting in a warehouse waiting to be distributed.
Girl Scout boxes.
They manufactured them like in December,
a previous month.
Yeah, exactly.
These were the leftovers that didn't get fitted into boxes.
So
but
the
the
Keebler
size
ones were more
the same, or
they
were pretty much the same size, or
you actually get more with the Keebler ones, and of course you pay half the price.
Half the price, exactly.
Because now Girl Scout cookies are what, $6 a box,
Is
some
it?
$7,
I
and
think-
some place depending
I
upon
think it was.
what they're selling them at.
Right.
But yeah, the thing of the Keebler Coconut Dreams are like $2.50.
Wow.
And you get I think you get
How many you get
either
in the
4
Girl
more
Scouts?
cookies.
You get 8 in a box of Girl Scout cookies.
Well, I don't know.
now.
I think it's like 3 rows, so maybe like 15.
15.
But I think I want to say 18 in the Keebler. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah.
But the Keebler ones, I just think taste better because they're fresher and they're not sitting around. I mean, yes, we want to support the Girl Scouts and we want to support the whole thing of, all of their whole
Right. And this is their big fundraising is the
for the
Girl
year.
Scout cookies, right? Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And they get trips and prizes for who sells what.
Yeah, and I'm not dissing the Girl Scouts. I mean,
No,
I've
no,
literally
hey,
bought Girl
no.
Scout cookies every year for
Every
the
year.
past probably like 20 some years anyway,
Right.
because I always knew somebody who their kid
Was a Girl Scout.
or something
Brought the
or
sheet.
whatever, or and now you can do it online, especially during COVID. You could do it online because the Girl Scouts weren't having their meetings and stuff, but they sent out like it was like a QR code.
Oh, wow.
That the parents could email out, or the link to the website where you could just go log in to your child's account. So the kid would get
They
credit
get the
for
credit.
it,
Yeah.
for the sale.
Instead
and
of
you
having
could
to
go
sit
and
out in
buy.
the cold and hand a box to somebody.
But even like, because during COVID of all that,
Yeah,
but
of course.
now like they ask us at the rink if they can set up outside in the front.
Right.
We're like, absolutely.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
they sell themselves. People's walking. I'm like, oh, Girl Scout
Yes,
cookies.
yes,
Here's my money.
exactly.
Take my
Yes,
debit
please.
card. Take
a little
my,
more, a little more. Yes.
And it's like, it's not even.
Do they do credit cards or is it all cash?
They do. We actually had a youth hockey tournament a couple weekends ago, and there was a girl who was traveling with her sibling. He was playing, and she was a Girl Scout, and she was literally walking around inside the rink with a sheet of paper with a QR code on it, and was like, "Hey, do you want to buy Girl Scouts cookies?" And people were like, "Oh, sorry, I don't have any cash." She goes, "Oh, no problem. Just scan right here, and you can pay like."
Oh, wow.
Directly, like through Venmo or some.
She wasn't walking with one of those
Oh, yeah.
cubes or anything. She was
Right.
Actually, it was just through the QR.
You just like boom, do the QR code, go
Nice.
right to the link, boom, and she goes, "Do you want me? And, do you want them delivered or do you want them mailed to you?" And of course, they were mailing because she doesn't live in this area to deliver them.
Right.
So people will get them delivered to them and like.
Oh, yeah.
But it's
Was
like.
that extra? Like that was an extra.
Yeah, I
charge
think it is
too.
extra,
Yeah,
like a
well,
couple
you
bucks
kinda-
to charge for
Right,
delivery.
right.
But still, I mean, you're supporting the Girl Scouts. It's
Right,
awesome.
true,
But like this girl,
true.
she was like, she wouldn't
had
take
it
for no
on.
for an answer.
Oh, well,
'Cause
she knew.
she was just like, yeah, here I'm gonna.
Hey, yeah,
Yeah, you've got multiple ways to pay. It doesn't matter if you don't have cash. I can.
Right, I got you covered.
I can get you some cookies.
Yeah, I got you covered.
I can get you.
Yes, yeah.
The first one's free,
Right,
and then they
yes,
hook you,
but then
right?
they hook you. Well, that's
sorry, they don't do
true
that.
because yeah. Well,
So
always nice.
anyway, so the grasshopper ones, which are the Thin Mint version, they're equally as good as the Thin Mints,
Right,
and I wouldn't be surprised, literally, if they were just made in the same factory by Keebler, and they.
As part of a connection with the Girl Scouts.
Right. They have like a tie-in where it's like,
well,
okay,
you've seen all the ice creams now, right? Because there's some ice creams now, the Edie's ice creams that have all the Girl Scout ones in them.
Well, they've had those for years, actually. But
I
yeah,
have seen those. I haven't really
Samoa
tried
ice cream one's really good.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. If you like the Samoa with the coconut.
I don't like coconut, but okay. I'm sorry. That is a
coconut. Oh my god!
Sorry. Yes, it is. It was a bane of my existence.
Podcast is over.
Back in the
Dave doesn't like coconut. We can no longer be friends.
We need to separate.
Thanks for
That was it.
coming.
Thank you. Well,
Thanks.
7 was
great,
the number.
Great. Episode 7. We made it.
This is only a half
Woo,
episode.
thank you.
But it's it. It's it. It's the end.
We made it to episode 7.
Perfect.
So, anyway, so
before we split the band up, we gotta go 7. 7
Made
whole
it to the
episodes.
7.
Perfect.
Oh, okay. So what happened in disc golf? What's going on in disc golf?
Okay. Well,
Quickly,
we
quickly.
did the.
Because we don't want to bore people to tears
I know.
with D&D
I know.
disc golf.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that the putting league was continuing on the Thursday, and it was the first time I made money. I actually got to second
Wow.
place with my buddy.
So you got what, like $3?
I got 10.
10.
We each got 10
Nice.
from the pot. So
wow.
I was surprised. I've never gotten that far, and
That's
of course,
awesome.
and I went up against Chase.
You know why?
His partner.
You know why? Because as I mentioned last week, you're a changed man.
I'm
you're
changed.
now trying to
because the recycling and everything.
the
I don't know if
trees
that's
and
how that works.
recycling
Well,
and-
I'll be donating my
plant the
$10
homeless
to Girl
and
Scouts.
all that, and then take that $10 and go buy some Girl Scout
Girl Scout cookies.
Support the Girl
Pay
Scouts.
it forward. Paying it forward all
That's
the time.
why good
Yes.
things happen. You pay
Well,
forward.
I'm telling you right now, those Girl Scout cookies aren't going to help my diet because I've been having some serious issues.
True.
Yeah.
So okay, well, you could still. I don't know. I'm sure somebody in your house would eat them,
Oh, it would. Oh, come on, they get eaten.
like the Krispy
Definitely.
Kremes.
Anything. Yes, they're just going to go.
I'm jonesing for some Krispy Kremes.
Oh, it's been what? It's
When-
been 2 months now.
2 months,
2
and I'm
whole
like,
months, and we haven't gotten back
I'm
out
ready
there.
to drive up
Well,
to like
just drive
Maryland
there.
to get some
Well,
Krispy
Harrisonburg's
Kremes.
right, or Frederick's right there.
Not for me though. The
Frederick?
closest one is is in Hagerstown.
Oh, so what
Maryland.
I'll do is
That's closest for me.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. Sid and I will take a road trip. We'll run out and we'll pick up, and then on your way home through, I'll just throw them out the window at you.
Oh yeah, throw them
to
out
your
at the
car,
highway.
to your car.
Like here comes
Here's
Pern.
guys, just like a like the Pony Express.
Well, you'll
I'll just
know,
hold it
you'll
out
know
the
my
door,
car because it's
and
the one
then-
that has the deer damage on the front from
Oh,
hitting
no,
deer.
when?
No, just a while back. When
was it?
Yeah, I haven't
Oh, I
had
thought it
any.
was
I haven't had any
recently.
recent ones. No.
Oh well, yeah.
Luckily.
Well, it's been the time. I ran
Yeah.
over a skunk on the way here. Like he was already dead.
Ooh.
But
Oh.
of course, now my car still smells like skunk.
Smells
At
like
least he's
skunk.
going to love that when I bring it back home.
Because you'll have that smell
Park
for
that in the
like a
garage.
week.
Yeah,
least.
I was like, oh, I said, oh my God, what the heck was that? And it didn't smell like skunk at first. It's so pungent and strong at first. It doesn't give that lingering skunk smell. Like, you know, if you're like out in the woods and you go, oh God, that's a skunk. You know, you kind of, it's like that. No, this was so powerfully strong. Like right on top of it, it hurt. Like I was like, oh my God, it was insane. And I went to go close my vents on my thing, but it wasn't fast enough. And now the whole inside of the car smells like skunk.
So years ago, like this is probably good 20 some years ago, some friends of mine, they're married, and we went out and we had dinner, and they had just bought a new SUV. And we were driving back to their house to like watch a movie or something, or, you know, just hang out some more from dinner. And my friend, he was behind me in his SUV, and I'm driving down, I think it was the Fairfax County Parkway or someplace, you know, it's like a 4-lane highway area. And this skunk shoots out of off the side, and I swerve and miss it. And he nails it dead on with his front passenger side.
Because then the skunk's already scared and he's already shooting.
And so it's nighttime. Yeah. And I look up in my rearview mirror because I swerved to miss it because I'm looking to see if he missed it. Yeah. And all I see is this poof.
Oh, no.
And it was just the spray and the skunk being incinerated on his brand new car that he had just bought that day.
That's going to ruin the interior.
And, oh my God. We got back to his house and he was like, he just could, the look on his face. And I'm like, I know I swerved. I missed it. And he goes, I didn't miss it.
I mean, there's no way. It's just got to wear away, man. That is the worst.
Oh, but just, in the lights, you know, the headlights, you just see the poof, the spray going everywhere. And like the car
just behind you.
Coming right through it. And it's like, oh.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, this one was already dead, so I didn't have too much to worry about it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those aren't as bad because they've had time to, you know, because they're not releasing new gas.
True.
Gas.
Yeah, but it still was so strong. Like, I think he just got hit.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and of course, then I'm right on top of it. And I was like, I missed him, but I don't think that was good enough.
Gotcha.
But anyway.
So you won some second place in putting league.
Yes. So that's well on my way with my workout.
See, so you are getting better because last week we talked about how.
Because in the garage, we have a little test putter set up.
Oh, right.
In the inside. So I've been able to throw 20 feet putts every time I go outside into the garage. So
okay.
I have been practicing.
You can't hike across the street to the park to actually go play.
No, because I can't. Like, I am working, like, during the workday.
I'm having more spiced Coke, by the way. Keep talking.
Jesus. But you wanted to do a new segment, didn't you? Do we have a new segment that we are going to try out?
We are. We're going to get to that later.
Hold on. Okay.
So this was something that came up this past week,
right?
That I did not know. And you being the Van Halen fan,
yes.
you maybe do know this. I don't, but I it was one of those little tidbits that popped up, and I'm like, I had no clue about that.
Okay,
so it was a quote from Daryl Hall from Hall Oates.
Right,
he was apparently, this was back in probably early 90s or late 80s, early 90s, because Jump hit that was off the 1984 record.
84.
Okay, so it was probably late 80s. Daryl Hall from Hall Oates, who were huge in the 80s, was hanging out with Eddie Van Halen.
Okay.
And Eddie had told him, he goes, the keyboard part in Jump, the synthesizer part, he goes, I stole that from you guys.
No way.
And Daryl Hall's like, what are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, kiss on my lips because you kissed.
Yeah.
Eddie stole the keyboard part out of the cadence of it when it goes dun, 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 that part in Jump for dun, 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 dun. See, he basically
it's just about
it.
He
stole the
cadence,
right? And it's a slight, but Eddie told Daryl, he goes, I stole that from you guys. That's the keyboard part that was
royalties.
For Jump.
Where are they?
Well, Daryl Hall was so flattered and just laughed it off because that is so awesome that until you now, guys nowadays I'm sure they would they would sue where's my royalties?
Well, you heard those two are fighting too, right?
Oh, Hall and Oates?
Yeah,
but they still want to tour together, but yet they're in the middle of
litigation against the rights of the songs.
It's the same thing with Journey. With
he filed a
Sean and Jonathan Cain, the keyboard player. They're in a thing, but they're out on tour, and it's like, how do you do
Money's
that?
Money,
how do you
I guess.
Get out on stage and perform, and then look over.
That would be like if I was suing you, but we still came and did the podcast,
right? like this, like nothing happened.
Like it was like, yeah, like we just have to keep it separate and still have a legitimate conversation with each other.
I don't. Yeah. Well, if there's any big sponsors out there that want to pay us a lot of money, then we can get into
we can get in trouble.
Right now we have nothing to sue each other over.
Right. Well, it's early. It's still early.
We're not making any money off this.
I thought we were ending it after 7 anyway. So.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, six and a third of
Coconut calls it.
The coconut. Oh my gosh.
We can't have a coconut.
I can't tell you how disappointed I am.
Can we not have something that has?
So no almond joys. No almond joy sponsor.
Okay, I might. Okay, here's the deal.
You like almond joy?
No, but I would be okay with. Well, you like them, right? You like it.
My wife loves almond joys.
Okay,
if we had almond joys as a sponsor,
yeah,
she would be in heaven.
Well, Lisa likes coconut too, so it's okay.
So you're just the odd man
I
out.
am. Like the whole household doesn't have a problem with coconut, but
yeah. Fuck you and your coconut. I don't like coconut.
It's coconut. It's just a texture.
If I was
a flavor texture.
If I was on a desert island and all there were to use was coconuts, I would die.
I don't know what I would do about like the coconut milk or anything like that. I wouldn't be able to subsist on.
I'm actually not a fan of drinking coconut milk. I've had it. It's okay.
Well,
but
the water
or
the
that's
milk?
all I had to like
the
for
water
hydrate,
or the milk?
Absolutely,
because there's coconut water or coconut milk.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of coconut water.
Yeah, because that's different. I think I could probably do milk because I kind of do like the smell of it, I guess, like the fragrance of it, but I just can't eat it.
Okay. So anyway, we got back to off of coconut, back to coconut, off of Van Halen
again.
And one of the other things with the Van Halen thing is like the article when I was reading it, it was talking about how when the Van Halens moved from Amsterdam to the U.S.
Right.
to California,
right,
and that Eddie and Alex, who's the drummer, they took music lessons and they learned different instruments and they know all the stuff. But the one thing with Eddie and his piano training,
right,
he never learned how to read music because he had just that natural gift of talent. He could watch somebody play,
right,
and then just do it. And
hear the tones.
He could watch and hear it, all of it, and his brain just processed it, and he just puts his fingers down and he can play it.
Oh, it's amazing.
That is insane.
That's kind of crazy, right?
That is insane. And I mean, the reason why Eddie Van Halen was the greatest guitar player ever, like him and Jimi Hendrix, probably the two greatest.
Right. They just knew the tones. They knew what went together.
There's stuff that Eddie does in his solos that like before him, nobody had ever even thought about, like, you know, the bends and the hammer-ons and the artificial harmonics and the whole, like, you know, all that stuff that
he created a genre.
He was finding different ways to get different sounds out of the guitar. Like his mind just worked on that different level, which was
you said the same thing about
amazing.
Jimi Hendrix too, though.
Oh yeah, and Hendrix was just So Hendrix and Eddie Van Halen just, you know, I'm glad that I got to see Van Halen perform and got to see Eddie play. And I started thinking about that about the other guitar players, like. I had forgot that Stevie Vai had filled in and played with Whitesnake on a tour.
Whitesnake, yeah.
And that was just for one tour. And because I saw a picture, my wife sent me this like meme with something about, you know, oh, you don't want to listen to Whitesnake with me anymore? Well, I guess here I go again on my own or something like that. And it was like, and in the picture of Whitesnake, Steve Vai sitting there. I'm like, when the hell did Steve Vai play guitar for? And then I had to go look like, oh shit, he did do that one tour with him like in '89.
Right.
When they were having issues with their guitar player, and then the guitar player came back and blah, 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 and all that. But it was just like, I totally forgot because I've seen Steve Vai with David Lee Roth. I've seen Steve Vai with Whitesnake. I've seen Steve Vai. I forget. I've seen him several times.
Solo thing, didn't he?
Yeah, but I've never seen him solo doing his own stuff.
He didn't tour with that part.
But again, he's another one of those guitar players that Steve Vai is just, you know, he's up there. It's like, you know, one of the greatest. And I've been fortunate enough to see him play, and it's just like insane because it's just so effortless for those guys. Like, like they're not even thinking about it. They're just like, and they just
they just know where to put their hands, right?
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's
just to watch.
Crazy.
I mean, I played guitar for years, and I was never even close enough to like. I mean, I'm like a rhythm guitar player. I don't, you know, just chords and stuff. I'm not never been a soloist whatsoever. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting about Eddie and him, just the way he could pick up music like that.
Right.
So, and while we're on music, I just have to say.
Oh
my gosh, I heard this news this week, and I cannot tell you, I was just elated. That Billie Eilish has finally finished her new record. And it's gone through mastering.
Yes.
Which means we're just now waiting on a release date.
It's oh my gosh. Right there. Oh, she's probably going to announce it at some major event.
Maybe like the Oscars, like when she wins Best Oscar for the Barbie movie song.
Oh, that's true.
Which I do think is a beautiful song. I've said that before. Do you think she would drop that? She'd pull a Taylor Swift?
She was up
do you
there
think
on
she would
stage
do that?
in front of all those people,
like,
and then,
by the way, my new record's going to come out May 21st.
To make sure that my fans are taken care of too. Yeah, that kind of thing.
I don't
That'll
know.
work.
So that was a bit sarcastic because I'm as I said before, I'm not the biggest Billie Eilish fan at all, but I did hear that news this week. Thought I'd pass it along
You'd
for the
move it
listeners.
along. Well, not
listeners.
everyone gets to, listens to 80s hair metal. So you're talking to the other half of the
younger.
group here.
Well,
Yeah.
but I do listen to that stuff too.
You do.
I listen to everything. I have been listening to a lot of Hair Nation
You are
the
a
past
lot
couple
more,
weeks at work, but
you are a lot more. I would have to say, have a better
diverse.
Better library of music.
I would listen to anything and everything from classical to you name it.
Yeah,
to metal bands, Poison, Love Poison. Which is another one.
Much.
Yeah, I can't do country's
very tough. Like there's a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple crossovers that were country songs that were in the top 40s for some of the stuff, and that was okay. I could do some of that. What?
Boot Scootin' Boogie?
Yeah, no.
You don't know?
I know that one, but
Down by the Chattahoochee?
Oh, is something? That really?
Was that?
No.
Is that not what it's called?
I don't know. Is that it? We're going to have to look. That's a fact check.
Oh, no,
someone's going to fact check that one.
Was that something Jackson? Alan Jackson? Maybe?
No, you close. Maybe.
God, I don't know.
We'd have to look
country.
that one up. But
I don't
not
really
like
know.
we have phones or anything we could look that up.
I know.
But there'd be dead air. So we want to
while we're looking up our phones, like who?
We'll have to update the next time to make sure you were right.
The
fact check section of the
oh my gosh,
podcast.
The whole episode would just be fact checks of all the shit we said wrong.
Would. Everything we
You'd be like, no, we were wrong about that.
Blather on
no, we were wrong about
that.
No, we were wrong about that.
Yeah, we come here with no prep. So understandably
very little prep.
Very little. We have some ideas.
We have topics that we want to touch base on, but we don't. Yeah,
but we're going on what's in our head, basically. It's not like we have anything, a script written down or.
Yeah.
It is very wide open.
So I have, over the past 2 weeks, I watched another 2 Oscar movies.
Oh, 2. Was that the swimming one and the Rust On?
No, they weren't. Those 2 are still on my list. I accidentally came across these other 2. I was on my cable network server.
Okay.
And they have a whole section of Oscar nominated films and that take you straight to the streaming platforms of where they are.
Oh, where they? Okay.
And one of them was for Past Lives, which is it's nominated for Best Picture.
Okay.
It's one of the best. And I was like, oh, well, and then I watched the trailer, which actually I watched the trailers for all the movies that I hadn't seen still on the list.
Okay.
So Past Lives, I started it and I was like, oh, it's kind of like a little indie film. I was like, back in the 90s, I went through a whole indie film phase where everything was like, oh, that's the deep meaning of, I was all into indie films.
Right.
And those little, movies that cost less than $1 million to make, but had the big, meaning behind it. So I watched the trailer for this and I was like, okay, I'm going to give this a go because it has that. I love indie films and that has that feel to it. And I watched it and I got to the end and I was just like, wow, what a great fucking movie.
Really?
It was so good. Is it going to beat Oppenheimer? No, not a chance. It is a great movie, but it is also nominated for Best Original Screenplay. Okay. And I hope that it wins. I hope that it wins for Best Original Screenplay.
It probably will, because Oppenheimer really wouldn't have been that kind of a screenplay thing.
And Oppenheimer's an adapted screenplay.
I think it would be.
I don't remember the list. It's on my phone, but I'm not going to go look. But yeah, Past Lives, I highly recommend it. It was so good.
Okay.
More
homework.
Through the story, I don't think you'd like it.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I just don't think it's your cup of tea. And
things really have to kind of time me. I really got to be invested.
It's no Top Gun Maverick. I'm going to tell you that.
Seriously, I wasn't that tied into that one either. It's just letting you know. It's not like I'm not tattooing anything on my body.
Well, so if I don't want to spoil anything on Past Lives, so go watch the trailer if you can find the trailer. And watch it.
Well, maybe I'll watch the trailer, and if it pulls me in, then.
And there is subtitles reading because it's half Korean, half
reading too.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
God, I can't stand the anime ones that you've got to read the whole thing. You lose stuff like you got to watch the screen, and then they're writing on you and. It's just tough to kind of concentrate on two separate things all at once and concentrate and read to where you comprehend. You got to read and comprehend or you're lost.
Anyway, it's half Korean and half in English because the girl lives in New York City and she's been in New York City lived in the U.S. since she was 12. So she has perfect English.
50-50.
But then when she speaks to this old friend from her past life, hence the title, it's all in Korean. Okay. So, it's just very, I loved it. I thought it was great. It's not going to win the Oscar for Best Picture, but I hope it wins for Best original screenplay. The
I
other
get that.
movie that I watched the trailer for, and then I was actually anticipating, I was like, oh, okay, this looks good.
Okay.
And it was Anatomy of the Fall, about the woman who kills her husband.
Yeah.
Or supposedly kills her husband.
Okay.
And again, it's going to lose you because it's half in French and half in English.
Oh, more reading.
Yes, more reading. And I'm not the biggest fan of courtroom drama, like TV shows or movies or any of that stuff.
Right.
And it gets into the whole courtroom drama part of it. And I was like still into it and watching. Sorry, I have to take a drink. Hold
there
on.
we go. So you didn't you didn't catch that Law and Order reference.
Dun dun. So I'm not into those type of shows like Law and Order or any courtroom drama. I don't like hospital shows either. Like I was never a fan of ER or any of that.
I didn't.
Stuff.
I
So-
wasn't a fan because they didn't really go over the everyday crap. It was always like 3 ambulances overturned, or there's a massive plane crash. Or, it's always it was always the most disastrous thing. It wasn't when the doctors never had anything to do, kind of thing.
Yeah, where they're just sitting around.
Which every once
3
in a while that does
when-
kind of happen.
Oh, it
but
does.
Yes,
It does. I have a friend who's going through nursing school.
Right.
She's
Like,
does
there's a
hospital
couple of
shifts
people who
all
come in
night
and they've got 3 old people that fell, but other than that,
And that's about it,
Yeah, their
almost.
hip or anything. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
So with Anatomy of the Fall, Sandra Mueller, is that what her name is? The actress, whatever, the main actress.
Right.
I think she should win the Oscar for Best Actress.
Really?
She puts on one hell of a performance. It's like Cillian Murphy and Oppenheimer. It's just it's another level.
Right.
She puts in a performance that is just amazing. I mean, anytime you have these actors, they just love when they have like those like 15 pages of monologue.
Okay.
And she nails it. Like,
Really?
You get so pulled into her character that you forget you're watching a movie and she's acting, because it's just like, oh my God, she's that good in this movie. And she speaks that in English, her monologues in English. Because even in the courtroom, she's like, English, please? And they're like, oh, okay. Like the translator's like, oh, okay. 'Cause she's in a French court. So they're like, oh,
okay,
it's all in French. It's all in French.
Right.
She's like, English, please? And then she does her monologue.
Okay.
And
Thank
it's fantastic.
goodness. Yes, I guess you would have to.
She's amazing. I hope she wins Best Actress.
Right.
The movie itself got to the end, and I still don't know what happened.
Really?
I went online. I went on like
Are they
movierant.com.
preparing for the sequel, Anatomy of a Second Fall?
And yeah, exactly. Anatomy of the Second Fall. When she kills again. But we don't know if she killed the first time
we
yet.
don't even know.
We're not sure. I went on Screen Rant and I read a review and they're like, yeah, people come out of this movie going, is she innocent or did she do it?
Oh, they didn't bring it out in
you
court?
don't know.
Or what?
Like,
they didn't have her hauled away? It wasn't like she saw her on a bus or...
It's so... No. It just gets to the end and it just ends and it's supposed to be like, oh, okay, got it. And then you're like, wait, but did she do it or not?
Oh, wow.
And like, why do you leave me hanging like that?
Well, the audience is supposed to come to their own conclusion, I guess.
I guess, but they sprinkle...
That's kind of a cop-out,
they sprinkle
though, right?
all the... I think it's a huge cop-out because she gives this brilliant performance.
Right.
And the other
Without a
actors in it are
climax.
great. And it's just... It gets to the end and you're like, wait... So did she or didn't she do it?
Wow.
I don't know. And was their kid in on it?
Yeah.
Did he know?
Yeah, which would have come out in the...
Because he changes his story throughout the movie of like because he's not sure if she did or didn't do it, and then he testifies, and then I got to the end. I'm like, I don't like a movie where I'm supposed to come to my own conclusion.
But you liked
at the end
it.
Or what.
But
I
until it
loved her
got near the
performance.
very, very end, it was like, what the hell?
I was along for the ride, and it got to that last 20 minutes, and then ended, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Wow.
So
Dang.
can't recommend Anatomy of the Fall until Anatomy of the Fall 2 comes out.
2 comes out, and if you see her on a beach somewhere, then you'll know that she didn't do it.
Or if it starts, and she's like in an orange jumpsuit in jail.
Yeah, in jail, breaking rocks in France.
Breaking rocks in France,
Yes,
cracking.
and that they do in prison.
Yeah, prison work. Yes. Working on the railroad.
Exactly.
In France.
Right.
So those were 2 movies I unexpectedly started watching this weekend or this past week, and really enjoyed Past Lives. That one like stuck with me for days. I was just like, really like it. Dave, you should really learn to read.
But it's more about concentration, because I'm either concentrating on one or the other. Either I'm not concentrating on what's happening in the background, which is the interaction or whatever, or I'm reading. Because I can't focus on one and the other at the same time and understand what the hell's going on. And that's kind of what happens when the Japanese anime comes up and it's all subtitles and it's and you got to go through
But
the
why
entire
wouldn't-
movie with
Well,
it.
I get that, but in a Japanese anime movie, why wouldn't they just dub it anyway? Because their mouths aren't going to match.
True,
as it
but then
is.
sometimes stuff doesn't translate well, and then there's also stuff on the screen that's printed that's in Japanese, and it's gonna create subtitles anyway.
Oh, like a street sign or something like
yeah,
that? Or
they
like,
do it sometimes like that.
this
or
way to
the
Tokyo.
chapter change or something like that. They do it all the time.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah, it's the way the animes are. But yeah,
never got
most
into
of them are dubbed. Like some of them are, some of them aren't.
Right.
And the ones that aren't, I can't really get into. I mean, they're amazing. Like they're great artistically, right? But if I can't follow the story because I have to read half of it and then try to concentrate
So
on this.
Did you not watch Squid Game on Netflix?
No, I didn't.
Because you can watch that dubbed or subtitled.
Really?
So I can't remember the first time I watched it, if I watched it dubbed or subtitled, but then my wife finally 2 years later decided that she was going to watch it.
Right.
As I watched, when Squid Game came out and everybody was like freaking out, oh my God, Squid Game's so amazing, blah, blah, blah. I waited like 8 months before I watched it. I was like, let's let this die down and then let's see what. And I watched it. I was like, wow, this was really well done. It was really well shot. It was fantastic.
Wow.
It was like,
Good
just,
story.
oh yeah, absolutely. It's like so out of left field and this whole like, game where people are getting killed.
Right.
So
No spoiler.
my wife decided just recently to watch it and she did it with subtitles.
Okay. Was it a different story with the subtitles? Because it seems like it wouldn't be, I guess, lost in translation style of movie.
Not really. So I then watched the last, 4 episodes with her subtitled, and I think I watched it dubbed, which is, I don't have an issue with subtitles.
Okay.
When I was younger and, again, watched indie films and things like that, I always did the subtitled version because the dubbed version
taught you how to do it.
taught me how
I
to
hadn't
read.
been taught that way
Read
I always
and
watched
movie at the same time.
Yeah, I always watched Western movies. So
The Wild West. And
no, Western, meaning Western.
gotcha. Not Western as in Kevin Costner.
No,
and
or
Dances
Clint
with Wolves
Eastwood,
or Clint Eastwood,
yes,
or
no.
Okay, Fistful
Good,
of
Bad,
Dollars.
the Ugly.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
not
talking
any of that. Yes.
Western.
West
following
is
you
an
now.
East movie. Yes,
I jumped off that train and
that wasn't on
I didn't know
Bollywood.
where I
It's
was
more of a Hollywood thing.
Bollywood and Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's all. Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
Yes.
So those are the two movies. I still have to watch the Rustin and the Jodie Foster.
Right. Swimming one.
Is it Nada?
Nala?
No.
Naya? I don't know.
I know we've got that name wrong so many times.
Of course
also.
we have.
Yeah.
But then, so I watched that Jodie Foster one, the True Detective one, the Dark Country. Yeah, I finished that last episode. That was really good. That was a good one.
I'll start that one because it's on my list, but I just hadn't got there.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's really good in that one.
I have 3 more Oscar movies to watch.
Oh, yeah.
So I've now seen 7 out of the 10.
So that can wait.
For the Best Picture
Yeah,
nominations,
look at
I've
you.
now seen 7
You're
out of the 10.
going bananas.
I have not watched this many Oscar movies in 15 years.
You had homework, so you just did it for the show.
I know. I've been coming home and
Doing
I'm
it
like,
for you
let's
guys.
watch this one. So I can tell
Did it
you
for
to
the
not
listeners.
watch Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yes, we can eliminate.
Stay away from Killers of the Flower Moon.
Wait for Anatomy of the Fall 2.
And wait for the sequel. When she strikes again.
When she has-
or did
yes.
she?
When
Or
it's
doesn't
personal.
she? Yeah. This time it's personal.
This time it's personal.
And the other thing in it is that their son, the kid.
Yes.
He's like he's legally blind, but he can
Okay.
still see like shadows of stuff and like things like so. But he's
Is that why
legally
he doesn't
blind,
know
so-
who did it or how?
right because they're out in this little in the
So
the
how is he a
French
viable
hills.
witness?
You gotta watch the movie.
Oh
You gotta.
my God.
You have to see it.
Sixth Sense? Is that a whole new Sixth Sense thing?
No, he
sees-
doesn't see dead people.
He just sees shadow
well,
ghosts.
no. Yeah, what?
Oh, Jesus.
I don't know.
Don't give it away.
I don't want to give it away because I would say if you want to see it, I wouldn't steer you away from it, but just be prepared at the end where that you might be disappointed because I was, like I said, still asking myself, did she or
Right.
didn't she kill him?
There you
I don't
go.
know.
That's so weird.
I'm not sure.
I don't know why they wouldn't finish it off.
Okay, so we're going to get into our new feature. Are you ready for our new feature?
Love and Hate.
Love and Hate.
Yep.
So I asked Dave in the middle of the week, sent him a text and said, hey, come up for this week's show, come up with one thing that you absolutely love and one thing that you absolutely hate. And I've got one of each as well.
It was
So
funny
if you want to
because,
go first,
it was funny because I did ask Lisa because I hadn't done my homework.
You had to get approval
until
from your
just
wife of what you
No,
love
I was
and hate?
asking her. I was like, well, what do you think? I'm
Oh,
supposed to come up with
so
one
she
thing
could,
of
like,
love
tell
and hate.
you
So she
something.
could help me. Yeah, so she could help. And I go, and she goes, there's got to be something you love. And I go, no, can't think of anything. Can't think of anything at the moment.
And I swear to God, if you say
like,
your wife, your kids, or your dogs, they'll kill you.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, that's kind of a given. I mean, that's a cop out. Technically.
Okay, so do you want to hear mine?
Yeah,
first,
let's go with yours. Go
one?
with. I have a love because it's weird, but
okay,
it's not like family or anything. But you're going to be like, oh, well, of course. But go ahead.
Okay, so the one thing that I absolutely love,
like out of love.
Well, no, that's different.
Not that love, but you know what? Love. Right.
Yeah, I absolutely love this thing.
Go ahead.
Is at the Giant grocery stores in the DC area, Giant. They have this coconut cream pie that is the most generic coconut cream pie you could ever imagine. I'm sure there's bakers and chefs out there that are going, oh my God, that shit. I absolutely love a slice of the Giant coconut cream pie.
That's very specific.
It is because it's one of those things where I bite into it and I'm just like, oh.
Now, is it child nostalgia? Or is it
when I was younger,
coconut cream pie you've ever had? Or
no, and I've had different coconut cream pies and stuff like that. And
we're back at coconut again. Jesus,
again, this is what this episode is going to be.
Coconut. There's got to be lime in the coconut in the front.
You know what the title of this episode is going to be? So the coconut cream pie, I absolutely love it. Like I actually a couple weeks ago, and I don't get it that often. I maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in Giant that much. We have different grocery stores out here where I live now. But I'll go in and if they have it, because they don't always have it. And they'll have the single slice or a half pie or a whole one or whatever.
Right.
And so a couple weeks I went into Giant and all they had was the half the pie where it's getting near its expiration date, whatever. So they cut it in half and whatever.
And then,
here, sell it. So they're not selling the whole pie, whatever. But it's still good. I mean, don't.
Right.
I bought the half pie and cut this big huge piece out of it and just put the fork in and was just like, oh my gosh, this is so good.
Really?
I love the Giant coconut cream pie.
Well, I know what to get you for your birthday.
Exactly. And I know what you won't be eating with this for my birthday. Because it's coconut. Well, and it's all fake too. It's fake coconut. It's not real, because I've had real coconut cream pie.
But it's coconut though. And it's the flaked coconut on top and.
Yeah, on the meringue.
Right. Yeah.
So so good.
Sorry, I can't do the flaky
That is one thing that I
problem.
Absolutely love. Okay, so what was yours then?
Well, mine was just food. I'm a big guy and I really love food. There are certain foods that, and damn it, if I wasn't thinking about this, but I was trying to come up with something and I did, when I look at my Pinterest and I go through my Pinterest,
is that your girlfriend?
Pinterest is the app that has the pins on it with different recipes or craft items or projects.
But the way it came out of your mouth, it sounded like mistress, my Pinterest.
My baby Pinterest.
Oh, my Pinterest. Don't tell my wife about my Pinterest.
My Pinterest. My Pinterest account is full of different recipes of stuff, food, all different kinds of food. And we break out the recipes all the time. We had the pork carnitas tonight on the slow cooker because, you got to have a slow cooker. But I'm looking through this whole thing and on my Pinterest cast of all of my different pins comes up and says, there's this posting and it says, here are the foods you shouldn't be eating or foods that are the worst for you. Do you want
feeding your dog's ham?
I have the rattle off the list here. This is kind of crazy.
Oh, he's got his list. Okay.
It is a poster that you're supposed to buy. Because I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So I clicked on it and it's actually a poster you can buy for your house that you can put near a refrigerator or something that lets you know the foods you aren't supposed to be eating. Come on, seriously. You're going to hear the list. You're going to be like, oh yeah, that's stupid. Of course that's bad for you.
Okay, hit me. Let's go.
Okay,
roll it.
I'll rattle off the list. You tell me one when you get to one that you said you've never eaten. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we will go right through the list.
Okay.
That isn't in your normal, I've eaten this recently, within the past 3 months or 6 months. Okay. And I'm fairly certain that every one of these is on the list.
So is something you love on this list?
I like everything on this list. Are you kidding?
Oh, okay. Because this is where we were still on the love-hate thing.
This is the love of food. I can't believe that this is a worst foods list that, you're not supposed to eat.
Okay.
Okay. Let's rattle off. Okay. Bacon, candy, cake, sugary cereals, donuts. God, donuts. Jesus.
Krispy Kreme.
Fried chicken sandwiches, chips, potato chips,
not the
corn
cops.
chips, anything. Not them.
Not the cops.
Okay. We do love them too. So I can't. Cinnamon buns, cookies, French fries, hamburgers, hot dogs, ice cream, onion rings, which I don't know why you went with onion rings and then French fries. I think you kind of
This just sounds like my weekly grocery list.
Tell me about it. I know. I just had hot dogs and hamburgers the other night. Pastries, pies, pizza. I think we're gonna have pizza later tonight.
Yep, pizza's after
fried potatoes. This is a weird one. Salad dressing. It's like you're not supposed to eat salad dressing.
Salad dressing? I guess it's just supposed to be a wine.
I guess
vinaigrette.
Straight, you're not supposed to eat it.
Vinaigrette.
I guess if you're just going to take a cup of ranch and down it, that would probably be bad.
I actually have someone at my work who, when I go out to like McDonald's or something to get food, I'm like, you need anything? I'm like, oh, can you give me some of the little cups of ranch?
Really?
I'm like, did you want anything else? No. I'm like, oh my God. Okay,
Do
whatever.
They lick out of the cup?
I haven't seen it.
Oh
I don't
my
know.
God.
I hand them over and I don't.
That's
I don't
a
watch.
whole.
Okay,
You're going to have to
okay.
get evidence.
Dressing,
soft drinks, of course, juices, toaster pastries, which I don't know why this was a specific that had to be on the list.
Pop-Tarts?
Yes, definitely Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts.
And trail mix. And I guess the trail mix is because it has a mix of candy and crap in it.
Well, you don't have to put M&Ms into it.
That's true too, but for the most part.
Right, for the most part,
Trails
yes.
mix
It's like
is
the nuts and the chocolate.
stupidity.
And yeah.
So that was the list. And I was like, there's a whole poster for that of the worst foods for you. And I'm just like, those are like my diet. I get to everything on my list. That's everything I eat in some variation of
And why
such.
are you having back problems, Dave?
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I guess that would be the reason. So I'm going to buy the poster.
And then cut it in half.
Just cut it and have it right there in front of my face
the bottom half.
all the time.
Trail mix.
I'll never eat trail mix. It's got coconut in it.
Take that off the list because I'll never eat that anyway.
It's got coconut. There'll be just a hole there.
I'm only
where
eating
it's
from
been
the top
rubbed
half of
out.
the list. Yeah.
Yes.
Bottom
the
stuff,
top
I do
half,
that
it was
out.
Everything
That's not on the list.
perfect. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Okay, so the food. So most of those things were things that you love that were on your list.
Oh, God, it was all that.
So
yes.
sugary
so
cereals.
just basically food. Yes. Well, okay. Can you remember all the sugary foods you had as a kid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Fruit,
that they
Fruit
make them
Stripes
all.
gum that now smells
That's
like.
true. Well, that wasn't
smells
cereal,
like Coke
was it?
spiced.
Well, Trix was our fruity one
Trix
too,
are for kids,
and
yeah.
Fruit Loops, but for the most part, now they're making them in mini form. If you hadn't known, they're making like mini versions, like mini Reese's Pieces or Reese's Cups. The
Which
Reese's
I don't
cereal.
understand because over the years they've downsized the actual size of what they used to be.
Yeah, the
of
box is like
everything.
crazy small, but now they've minimized the food in the small box to make it look like you're getting more.
Oh, now you get the minis.
Right,
And it's like,
but it's also the
okay.
mini Lucky Charms they had the other day. I saw that box the other day, and so that was interesting. So that's part of the cereal thing that we were just on.
So
okay, so now,
so we're on to hate.
Okay,
Something
so just switch
we
all the
hate.
gears and go right into hatred.
Do you have one off the top of your head?
I can come up with
I've got
one.
a couple I can pick from.
I hate a lot of stuff, so
I know.
this is going to be a pretty good feature
Dave
because
and I are
I can
filled with
honestly
hate.
feel that.
Because anger leads to hate.
Of course.
Hate leads to the dark side. Yes. The dark side has cookies. See? That's why we have.
That's it.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
And then,
Fear leads to anger. Anger
Always
leads to hate. Hate leads to the dark side. Which leads to cookies.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you obviously have one.
Yeah. Oh
because
my
you
gosh.
did
I
your
have more.
homework.
I have more than one
Right.
thing that I absolutely hate.
Right.
This one just drives me insane. It's like one of those things that just like when it happens, you just literally are about to lose your ever loving mind.
Right.
When it happens.
Okay.
And luckily this hasn't happened to me lately because we moved further out west away from the city. But when I was near the city and I would use the toll road all the time, they have easy pass lanes.
Yes.
And in the easy pass lanes where you just have your little like detector thing in the car and it detects that you have a prepaid amount on your account, you pay your toll, you keep driving, you keep going through. It absolutely drives the piss out of me when someone tries to go through an easy pass lane and then realizes, oh, I have cash. I need to pay. And then they just come to the dead stop
In the
and
middle
block
of the
the
lane.
entire easy pass lane.
Well,
and then
they
someone has
gotta
to run
make it
out. One of the
inconvenient.
toll booth people has to run out from one of the other ones that they were
All the way
supposed to go
across
through.
traffic, 'cause those lanes are still
traffic.
going.
Exactly. To go collect this dumbass's money so they can then and then they have to go back and radio, okay, let them through
Let
on
'em
this
back.
one, whatever. Because
Open gate 7.
Right. And let them through. And that just absolutely drives oh my God,
Well,
drives
it's
me
the
crazy.
inconsiderate part of
because
it.
I've had an easy pass for like 15, 20 years.
Right.
And have had that and like always would use it when I was in that area.
Right.
But it always drove me nuts when it was just some jackass who like, and they say for like half a mile out, it's like, okay, cash, stay to the right, easy pass, stay to the left.
Right.
And like, if
right.
you know you're paying cash or with a credit card, because you can pay card too. If you know you're paying cash or credit card, why would you go, Oh, I wonder what the Easy Pass line is.
I wonder if
Let
I
me
can
go
still
over
pay
to that
there
one.
too.
Do you think I
can
could still
there
pay that one,
too.
even though it says cash credit only
Yeah,
to
and
the
there
right?
probably won't be anybody there.
Is it just? Does it make it easier for me to pay? Is that what an Easy Pass lane is?
Easy pay, yeah, because I just want to
my
pay
God.
easily.
I literally I scream. It's like road rage. Like
You just yelling.
I'm like,
your
oh
car.
my God, get the
Well,
out of
mine
the
is
way.
related to that because mine is the
All right,
drive,
go.
the
Hit me.
driving.
Yeah,
Just
driving.
and driving in general around here has been the worst. With it seems like it's the Wild West when it comes to driving anymore. Have you been?
Seriously, so welcome to hour 2 of the podcast because this could be why.
Because I mean,
because I've got stuff
you
on this
drive
too.
you drive super late at night.
Yes.
Right? And from this podcast, I'll drive from home. I'll drive home. It'll be late at night. And I may hit 81, Interstate 81 on the way. And it's like, I guess it's not like it's rush hour, but you would think it was the way
There's
that
still heavy
everybody's
traffic
still
on it.
going
On 81,
900 miles an
absolutely.
hour on this road. And
Well,
it's
it is
70.
70. It's
I
70.
get it.
Speed limit's 70.
And these truckers, they're doing their thing, right? This is midday for them. That is the rush hour to get them home. They're doing it now because there's nobody on the road technically. But it's the ones that take advantage of that fact that it just balls to the wall because no one's on the road and you're just driving along at regular speed limit. And then all of a sudden you just woof, right out of the side of you. And it's unnerving because those are the ones that you watch the videos of the guys who can't control it after a mile.
Right.
And
They
go
just
sideways
touch the brakes
and,
and then
roll.
lose their car. Yeah.
Or there's a chipmunk or a skunk or
something they have to swerve and
anything. And it's just, they don't know how to react because they're not race car drivers and have that reaction.
So when I drive into work, I get towards back to the city area and traffic is heavier because it's during evening rush hour.
Of course.
And there are people that like, I
they
really
get
don't want to
home.
name car name brands, but they tend to follow a trend of the same types of cars
I
and people
hear
that
ya.
drive those cars that
Which is
drive
weird
like that. And I
because-
don't want to like
Yeah, it
alienate
shouldn't
anybody,
actually
but
be
fuck it.
that.
BMW drivers. I said it.
There we go. Well,
And I'm not talking about the SUVs. I'm talking about the little, like, whatever, is it a 310i? I don't know what the Mercedes or BMW numbers are.
Right.
But they always are driving like they've been shot out of a cannon.
Right.
Zipping in and out like it's NASCAR,
Well,
like in
they
between
can't get
changing
hurt,
lanes.
or they can't get their
and
car
I'm just
damaged.
like, oh my gosh.
And you're just supposed to accommodate them. And that's that whole consideration thing. If we get back to that, when I used to have to actually commute, like now I work from home, but when we actually had to commute, I had to drive all the way around the other side of the Beltway, to the opposite side from where we are. And, there is, it was insane. Like you would have people riding you like all the way and you have to get over. And I get over because I follow New Jersey rules. New Jersey is that you are in the right lane unless you're passing somebody. And then you're now back in the right lane. Those are the rules I follow.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I will not linger in the left lane. There's no reason to linger in the left lane.
The right lane is a driving lane. The left lane is a passing lane.
Right.
If you are not passing somebody
If
in
I'm
the left
not
lane, get your
passing
ass
the
back over in the right lane.
In the left lane. I'm passing left. I'm going back into the right lane. There's
Yes.
no reason to do that. That's why that's there for. Especially on Route 7, which is 2 lanes most of the way anyway from where we are. And even if it was a 2 or 3 lane one, I still would be able to ride in the middle lane, but never over into the left lane.
The far left. Yeah, because the left lane is a passing
Far
lane.
left lane is always for the idiots who are driving way too fast that need to be thinking they got to get home. I just stay out of their way.
I see it all the time on the way to work where there'll be somebody in the right lane and they're doing like 50 and a 55 and you come up on them.
Right.
But then the person in the left lane that's supposed to be passing them is doing 50 as well. And you're like,
yes.
Oh my gosh, why are you pacing each other?
Yeah.
And the person over on the left, why are you not getting past them or hitting the brakes and getting behind
letting
them
over?
Like, why are you literally like right at their front fender now blocking? Nobody can get past in these 2 lanes and you're both doing 5 miles an hour under the speed limit.
Right.
And oh my gosh, it just,
I know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, so it's, I guess for younger drivers who don't have a lot of time behind the wheel, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But when you've been behind a wheel for so long and you've seen all of that, it's annoying because there are rules of
the
good,
road.
I guess good
Etiquette
drivership.
and,
I guess that it would be nice to if everyone would kind of just be okay. We're all trying to get somewhere, and we know that you're trying to get there faster because obviously you have somewhere you need to be too. I'm just going to stay over here. Don't worry about me.
And when I drive, I stay in the right lane.
Right. But you're not going 20,
so when it's
right?
No, but when the speed limit's 55,
yes,
I won't do more than 7 over.
Right.
So I'm doing like 61, 62.
62, right.
And stay in that right. And, and believe me, I've gone through so many speed traps with cops and never been pulled over because like until you're doing almost 15 to 20 over, they're probably not going to come after you anyway.
Right.
But I'm doing 7 and I'm like, the difference in time that if I was then speeding, doing 5 to 10 miles an hour faster to get where I'm going, we're literally talking maybe 2 minutes of your life difference in the time.
Right.
And it's just not worth the risk, the ticket, all that crap. I'm like, I like I said, I do 7 over and my wife's like, well, you're speeding. I'm like, well, yeah, I am speeding.
Ish.
Technically I am speeding.
Right.
But
I've never gotten pulled over for doing
7 over.
Yeah, I've
never
neither
have I.
I got pulled over in a 45 and a 25 by accident.
I was get put in jail for that. Isn't that 20 over and a 25?
It was
like
17,
reckless,
and it was close to a school. So yeah, I did get a ticket.
Oh wow!
Because the cop was standing there.
Were you in the Jeep at that time?
No, it was just recently. Actually, I was running to go pick up something out of like Craigslist pickup because I do that dumbass crap, and someone was giving it away, and I had to run. I had to run from the house all the way out to Burke. And I drove through a connector that took me off 50 and over to 28.
And it was 25 and you were doing 45.
Yeah, I was doing 45. Because I was just flying off of 7. Yeah.
If you had just recycled that day, maybe some better karma would have come around.
That was before I recycled. So I'm just saying.
And fed the trees. And before you, see.
I wouldn't have wasted that paper for a ticket.
It would have,
Yeah, now that paper got used. Right. That tree didn't live.
So, so Love and Hate, that was a good.
Love and Hate, I'm telling you, not that we don't love or hate other stuff.
Oh, there will be other stuff to come. We'll revisit this feature.
I am pretty sure I could come up with a better loved one. That yours was way specific.
Well, yeah, but now you know what I'm talking about. It can be like something like I was specific about a very specific food. Yours was just like I just like sugar.
Oh God, yes, yeah, and carbs.
I just like sugar and carbs,
and fried crap
and fried crap. So,
cool.
So last thing, so this week our podcast had been up and published for just about a week. And we had already hit the 100 download mark, which for us is like woohoo crazy because we've joked that we have 3 listeners and it actually proves that more than 3 people have listened. And we thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Keep downloading.
Yeah, keep downloading, keep listening. Every week we're going to have a new episode. It looks like Mondays is going to be the day for the new episodes. Again, you can find us on all the platforms as you're already listening anyway. You can find us on Facebook, on Instagram, and on X at Pern and Dave.
Exactly. 100. We're celebrating with pizza.
Exactly. Tonight we're having pizza.
Pizza. It's a pizza party.
It's a pizza party after the podcast.
Pizza party.
Pizza party.
We tell you guys to come, but you're not going to hear this till after the pizza's done.
Yeah, we'll already be done. And we'll be on to next week's show by the time you hear this.
But you'll like it. You'll like the next one.
Well, great. Then we'll talk to you guys next week.
Next week.
All right, I'll see you next week.
Next week. Bye.
Bye. Pern and Dave, Let's Talk is brought to you by, Pern and Dave and Soylent Industries.
Feeding America, Americans.
And the good people at
Spatula City, 7 locations.
We're in the yellow pages under spatulas. Till next time.